Dun 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 dun. Boom boom boom. Ba 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 doo bop bop bop. That's the theme song for this show that I'm doing right now, guys. Hello and welcome to another edition in a very short line of big bloody Blu-ray breaking news. Big bloody Blu-ray breaking. Yeah. So a lot of stuff has happened. I'm gonna kind of skip a few releases since I haven't done one of these in a while. It seems a little superfluous to go through all the stuff that's happened between last time we did the show and now. It's just a lot of things. By the way, two little like kind of self-promo-y things. One, how would you guys feel about this as more of like a podcast format? It would still be a video. I would still have some like graphics here and there, but it'd be much more laid back, much more chill, much less of the news gimmick that I'm currently doing. I know All That Is Man, you love the green screen. I would get these out more if I didn't have to use the green screen and didn't have to edit them. So if that's interesting to you, if you think that it's a better idea to put these out as a more of a like laid back, chill, here's all the news, bro, and I don't know, smoke a Thai stick or something, then please let me know. I appreciate it. Also, we have a Patreon that you could also give money to. We have I think 21 patrons, which is insane to me. So please, if you really enjoy this shit, we have all kinds of perks for patrons. I like to give back as much as I can because I can't imagine anyone giving me money. Probably because I'm out of work, actually. That's probably why I can't imagine anyone giving me money. Anyway, so check that out. Links in the description, as well as links to everything that we talk about today on the show. So let's just get into it. First off, Gates of Hell from Scorpion Releasing. That released, I believe, the first of this month. So Gates of Hell, Lucio Fulci, we'll get back to him quite a bit in just a moment with our main story of the day. But Gates of Hell, really exciting. This is one of Lucio Fulci's, well, I would say one of his best movies. It's not one of my personal favorites, but if I was to make like a top 10, it'd be in there easily. I've always been a Devil's Honey kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? Apparently this 4K scan is like fantastic. I have not personally seen it. I don't own it yet. I haven't even ordered it yet. But according to those reviewers that I've been looking at, it's a pretty notable release. Apparently it's a beautiful transfer. I highly recommend going out, looking at those reviews, seeing what you can find out. And yeah, pretty dope shit. Gates of Hell. It's Fulci time, baby. Oh yeah, do the Fulci dance. Do the Fulci dance. Do the Fulci dance. Oh god, I'm so white. I'm sure there's a lot of Arrow news that I could be going over, but the only thing I'm going to really bring up from Arrow for this episode is that they have a Flash Gordon 4K UHD release coming out. That's going to be dropping on the 18th of August, and it apparently, like, it might actually be a must-own. Like, it might actually push me to purchase a 4K UHD player, because that shit looks baller as hell. It's all director approved. Tons of special features, absolutely loaded to the brim. You know how Arrow likes to do. And this, I'm willing to bet this is going to be a pretty good release for them financially. So I feel like they probably knew that and put a ton of effort in. Arrow, of course, you know, not my personal favorite distributor, but I think if I was looking at things objectively, probably the best distributor in the market right now. So definitely check that out. Holy shit, that's a huge release. On the Blue Underground front, again, I'm not going to go into everything that's currently happening, partially because I don't really buy a lot of Blue Underground stuff. They're a little pricey for me, but they have Jess Franco's Cecilia coming out on or around August 25th, and you can pre-order that over at Diabolic DVD. It's Jess Franco. I'll kind of get into this in a second, but Jess Franco's kind of on my radar right now for various reasons. Yeah, that's coming out. If you can't tell, I'm kind of rushing through these things because we got a big thing to talk about. It's already in the title. You already know what we're getting towards. So Second Sight, they announced last year, actually, that they were doing Dawn of the Dead and Martin in brand new, Blu-rays. And Dawn of the Dead, all the details for that already released, and that was hella cool. Now, even though that is a Region B release, I might end up grabbing it and then, eventually get one of those fancy region-free players everybody's always telling me to get, because I gotta get with the times. That release is pretty big. I'm pretty excited for that Dawn of the Dead release. It looks like the definitive Dawn of the Dead release. We'll see how that goes, but it's looking pretty good. Martin might actually be more exciting because apparently they have put together a totally new transfer from, I don't remember what the elements are, but from some pretty close to negative elements. I'm terrible at doing new shows. Anyway, the point is they are doing a whole brand new transfer of that sucker, and they might I have this feeling they might have to push the release a bit because they have talked about some elements not being available immediately due to COVID. Both of these are scheduled to release on October 26th, but obviously things might change. We'll see what happens. But right now, hoping for that release date. This is really exciting. Martin has never had a very good release, so dope. Dope, dope, dope. Dopey dope, dope. Anyway, all that aside, we're going to talk about the main thing now because I'm too excited. Severin! Yes, sir. The Severin sale, it's going to be from the 26th to the 29th of June. And boy, howdy, it's going to be a wild ride. They announced a ton of shit. We're going to go into a bit of voiceover mode because I can't memorize all this. This is just so much. So first off, everything that's going to be, it's going to be 50% off most titles, 30% off most merch, or I think maybe all merch. I might be wrong about that, but either way, 50 and 30. That 50% off is going to be everything that was released before the last 6 months. So basically the cutoff line is Peanut Butter Disaster. So if you're going through all their stuff on their website, just Peanut Butter Disaster, everything there and below, good to go. Everything after that is going to be normal price. And speaking of things that are not going to be half off, the one thing I do plan on picking up myself is the Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward Blu-ray limited edition. I don't want it to sell out because I would like to purchase it. It's not the best transfer in the world, and I watched it on Shudder, and I believe that's the correct transfer that they used for the Blu-ray, and it's not a bad transfer. It's just it has some encoding issues that are unfortunate. But as someone who doesn't really pixel peep, who doesn't really mind a few little errors in the codec, it doesn't bother me too much. But at the same time, it's sort of a like, God damn it, if only, come on. Vinegar Syndrome doesn't do this, come on. But I'm not going to be fueling those wars between brands. They're all my friends. I love all of these amazing distributors. Severin, of course, it was my first really boutique brand outside of Criterion. I've always been a Criterion guy, but the first of the main boutique guys in the horror community that I actually bought from was Intervision. I bought Things from Intervision back when around the time it came out on DVD. And then Severin kind of brought me back into the fold, and then I started getting into Vinegar Syndrome, and the rest is history. So, point being, I'm not going to lambast them for an okay transfer and some iffy cover art. I do hope that there's an alternate piece of artwork for that insert because it's not very good. Anyway, I am probably going to buy that. I'm definitely going to buy that, in fact, because I just want to own it physically. I'm sure some distributor will eventually put out a better transfer, but honestly, having watched it on Shudder, it's pretty good. If you're trepidatious, just watch the version on Shudder. Should be the same one. It'll give you a good idea. Obviously, it's streaming versus physical, but you'll get the idea. Now, beyond that, beyond like whatever you might want to pick up from their back catalog, we also have a ton of new releases from Severin. They're really going all out. I think that they, probably recognize that this year is going to be a bit iffy. So they took everything that they had ready to go and were like, let's just release it, motherfuckers. And that's what they did. We have a grand total of 2, potentially 3 Fulci releases, depending on how you want to count them. So first off, we have 2 Fulci classics, Demonia. I think that's how you say it, Demonia? Demonia? Whatever. And Enigma. These are 2 films that are not necessarily like the top tier Fulci. They are not Gates of Hell. They are not The Devil's Honey. I've actually never seen Demonia, so I'm excited to at least pick that up just so I can have it and watch it. And I would like every Fulci in my collection eventually, so I'll take what I can get. Enigma, I remember being kind of mid-tier Fulci. I've only ever watched it once, and it was a while back, so I'm intrigued to revisit it. I'll definitely be picking up both of these just because, again, I want Fulci in my collection. For Demonia, it is the first ever release on Blu-ray. We haven't actually had a release of this one since the Shriek Show DVD back in 2001. And this release, just to add a little cherry on top, amongst the several special features that we get a Stephen Thrower commentary. I love me a Stephen. It's no Troy Howarth, but that's, whatever. Stephen Thrower did literally write the book on this guy, so I'm more than happy to take Stephen Thrower. He's great. So that's exciting. As far as Enigma goes, there is a Blu-ray from 88 Films, which, no surprise there, Severin often kind of does some sloppy seconds from 88 Films. But that 88 Films release, of course, is a UK release. This will be an American release. I'm cool with it. I don't think there's been another Blu-ray of Enigma in the US. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing any. So I think this is a first time US release. I could be wrong. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I don't believe this has the feature length documentary that's included on the 88 Films release. So while this does look like it's fairly feature packed, I don't know. It doesn't look as exciting as that 88 Films release did. Again, though, I'm not going to complain. It's Enigma. It's not a huge deal, but it is Fulci in the US on Blu-ray. I'll take it. Rounding out our Fulci hullabaloo, I guess, is Fulci for Fake. Now, Fulci for Fake is a recent documentary. It showed at the Digital Chattanooga Film Festival, and yeah, it's certainly a thing. Basically, it's a bunch of interviews with a wraparound narrative device where this actor, I say he is an actor, but it doesn't matter. This guy is an actor who is preparing for a completely fake, made-up movie about Lucio Fulci, and he is going to play Lucio Fulci. And so in order to get into character, he interviews all these people who knew him, including Fulci's daughter, Camilla. And, it's frustrating. I haven't seen the movie yet, so this is totally me just basing it off of reviews that I've seen. It doesn't look that good. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look that good. And a career-spanning documentary on Lucio Fulci should be pretty dope, right? But it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like it's a pretty okay film, mostly because it's just talking heads, very little footage, and this wraparound that feels completely superfluous. Now, I might fall in love with it. I might want it in my grubby little paws immediately. I'm not sure I'm actually going to buy this one. This is a tough one, because I can see this probably being picked up by a streaming service soon. There's a bunch of special features, including an interview with Camilla, and that's cool, but this feels like one of those releases that I'll pick up at the next sale when it's actually like part of the sale. Nothing against Severin, nothing against the filmmakers. It's just I have so many other things to buy. I want to buy that Gates of Hell Blu-ray that I mentioned earlier, and that's kind of pricey. If I just take out one whole Blu-ray from Severin, I can then replace that with something that I know I'll enjoy, that I know I'll rewatch again and again. So for me, Fulci for Fake is probably the biggest letdown, even though I am excited to watch it. It's a mixed bag. We're also getting Jess Franco's Shining Sex, which has a wild plot about like interdimensional prostitute or something. I know nothing about it. I'm not the Jess Franco guy. I know I suck. It's just who I am. I am actually planning on picking up more Jess Franco, because I did realize that he is very much my blind spot as a genre fan. I've seen Jess Franco movies, but I can't really tell you anything about the ones I've seen because it's been over a decade. I just suck, guys. It's just, them's the breaks. I just suck. But here's the thing. The more patrons I get and the more views I get on this fully monetized battle station of a channel, the more Jess Franco that I will pick up. I will put it in my brain through my face holes, and I will review it because I love you. My heart goes out to you. Anyway, point being, I will buy it. So there's that. Frankie and His Pals is a new Intervision release. Now, I love Intervision. I don't own all the releases yet because there's a few that really aren't my bag, but I'm going to come several steps closer to completing my collection with this sale. Frankie and His Pals, I don't really know anything about it beyond the trailer that they released for the film, but it looks right up my alley. It's shot on video. It's bullshit monster shenanigans. It does look like it could be failed comedy, which we've been over. I don't necessarily like. But I did also watch Wacko recently, and that one doesn't work entirely, but I still really enjoyed it, and it's a horror comedy that's kind of iffy. So maybe this will do well for me. I haven't seen anything particularly great about it, but I'm also the guy who's always going on and on about like Sledgehammer and Phobe and all these other straight-to-video releases that a lot of people don't like. So, whatever. It looks right up my alley, picking that shit up immediately. So that's very exciting. After that, there is a sixth release that is a mystery still. I feel like it's going to be probably a mystery until the day the sale starts. So very intrigued by that. Of course, a lot of these will come in bundles, as Severin is wont to do. I don't know if I'll get any of the bundles. It really just depends. If Fulci for Fake if they do I'm assuming they'll do a Fulci bundle with Fulci for Fake. Goddamn. And that's a maybe. That's a hard maybe. I'll do the math and see if it works out for me. But right now, I'm gonna be spending so much money, and I do have a limit for this sale. It's a pretty hard limit, so I'm uncertain. Maybe if you throw in some really dank pins, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited to see it. We will be doing a video buying thing for that, so keep a lookout. So there's 6 releases, 1 mystery. That's a ton of stuff. But wait, there's more. They're also going to be selling 200 copies of Blood on Satan's Claw, which I very much recommend. I haven't reviewed it on this channel because there's just so many extras that I kind of got, it felt daunting. And also it was a limited release, and I misread, and I thought they were going to be releasing it as with like a non-CD version. But apparently they're not re-releasing it. It's just, this is it, this is done. Unless I misread and they're just talking about the limited edition, in which case, it doesn't matter. Point being, there's 200 copies of Blood on Satan's Claw. I highly recommend that one. It is a bit of a slow burn, so it might not be up your alley, but if you just really love the genre, if you like kind of British witch stories, good shit. Highly recommend. It's a great release. Tons of content. And then they're also re-releasing The Beast Must Die. Now, that one is a new scan. Apparently, it's going to look much, much better than it ever has before. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really care. I'm sure people will lambast me for this. I don't think The Beast Must Die is a terribly good film. I don't think it's bad. It's definitely, it's probably like, good, and that's it. That's it. It's just good. And I respect that people enjoy it. I just don't really get much out of it. I think it's a great concept that is kind of mishandled. I'm intrigued by the transfer. I'm intrigued by the special features. There's a lot on the disc. I'm just kind of meh about it. As far as what you should be buying, that's all up to you, man. I really love Killer Crocodile 1 and 2. That's one of my favorite releases from them. There is, I believe, 88 Films also has a release of that that's pretty dope. But if you just strictly want the US version, the Severin is totally awesome, so definitely get that. Night Killer is a lot of fun. Peanut Butter Solution is really great. I can't wait to show my kid that fucking movie. It's so wild, so Canadian. If Wax Mask winds up back in stock, definitely check out Wax Mask. That's a great little Italian sleaze joint. Let's see, Zombie 3 and Zombie 4 are fantastic. I'm not a big Shocking Dark fan, but I've reviewed that one. You can check that review out and kind of make your own mind up about that. But tons of good stuff. As far as what I'm planning on buying when the sale goes up, it's a bit of a mixed bag of stuff. These are not necessarily what you should buy, obviously. Base it entirely on what your preferences are, but I've been doing all my research. I did a lot of just taking things in and out of the cart. Right now, I know I'm gonna have to take stuff out still, but I'm gonna go down that road when I get there, man. That'll be the next video where we actually dig in. But right now, what I want to buy, in addition to a few of those new releases, specifically the 2 Fulci joints and the Jess Franco, and the Intervision title, Frankie and his pals, goodness gracious. The Hot Nights of Linda, which is a Jess Franco flick, Bloody Moon, also a Jess Franco flick, Deported Women of the SS, and Gestapo's Last Orgy. Those are the 2 that are most likely to leave my cart. I'm not a big Nazi exploitation guy, as I've said before. I do like certain ones. In fact, there's one in my cart that I'm definitely going to get. But those 2 are a bit kind of meh for me. It's really just Intervision. And one day I would like to do a video on Nazi exploitation. I don't even know what that's going to look like yet. So what's even the point of picking them up now when it's probably going to be like 2 years before I do it. The Jail, the Women's Hell. That's a Bruno Mattei joint. Also Intervision. It's one that could leave my cart, but at the same time, I do really want to buy more Bruno Mattei movies. I think he's just a lot of fun, sleazy, awful. I don't always enjoy his films. Shocking Dark is notably one where I think it's kind of boring for the most part. But there is something about Bruno Mattei. I say it differently every time. Bruno Mattei that really gets my goat. So I'm going to try to pick that up. It's only $14, and if that's half off, I mean, nothing. Anthropophagus and Absurd, I still don't own those 2. Joe D'Amato is another one I'm not a big fan of, but at the same time, they're historically very important, and that's one of the factors that goes into me buying Blu-rays, either my personal enjoyment or the historical context, and Anthropophagus and Absurd are both very important to the genre. Also Video Nasties, and I'm trying to watch all the video nasties. So let's see. I'm going to buy a few pens for my jacket, my work in progress jacket. Emmanuel and Francois. All of these I was going through like reviews and just double checking that it was like the best quality and like the one I wanted. So whatever I saw about Emmanuel and Francois, that's why I'm going to buy them. The Beast in Heat is a Blu-ray that I put off for a while because it just seemed a little too rapey, but I read some reviews that suggested it was much sillier than it looked. So that definitely is one of my prerequisites for an enjoyable Nazi-exploitation movie, is that it doesn't take itself too seriously, that it's super dumb. That helps me a lot, because otherwise it gets just kind of like, Robo-War, for all the reasons I've kind of already listed. Paganini horror, I just really love Italian bullshit. I've actually heard a lot of negative things, but I just really want it, It just has a cool cover, and I'm kind of sold just based on that. That said, that's another one that I might nix just because I don't need it, but at the same time, because it's an Italian horror flick, I really want it. The Boys Next Door, that's another one that I just saw a lot of recommendations, but I really don't know much about it. The Sadist of Notre Dame, because Jess Franco, and Axe and Kidnapped Coed 2-disc special edition Blu-ray, because I was recommended it, and I take recommendations very seriously. With that being said, if you have any recommendations for me, what you think I should be buying from the Severin sale, please let me know. It's okay if you tell me something that I already own, then cool. But otherwise, just let me know. If you think that there's something I'm missing from my list, it might be something that I already took off because of the price, or it might be something that I didn't even think of. So please, let me know, comment, all up in that bitch down below. And finally, this is running a little late, so let's just really quickly go through what's going on as far as new releases. I don't really have a lot to talk about. There's several other releases that are coming out this month or have come out. Orca from Shout Factory is coming out. I haven't really done any research on that one as far as the release, but I do love Orca. It's a great film, so maybe pick that up. Dream Demon is coming out. I pre-ordered that one. I already mentioned it, but it's kind of the title that fucked up my Tsukamoto box set pre-order. I made the mistake of pre-ordering them all at once, and then I didn't see that they had moved the date for Dream Demon. But that's coming out, and actually by the time you see this video, it just came out, so pick that up. Potentially I'll be reviewing it pretty soon. Let's see, beyond that, there's a new Universal Horror Collection from Shout Factory, a new edition of The Hills Run Red, if that's your jam, and of course the complete Lindsay Baker collection from Severin is also coming out. That one I've already pre-ordered, so I'm excited to get that sent my way. Yeah, that's about it as far as stuff. I'm sure I missed I did not write any notes about this, so I'm completely just running blind here, but there is a new Alejandro Jodorowsky collection. So this set is dropping August 21st. It contains The Holy Mountain, it contains El Topo, it contains Fanduilis, it contains his first short film, and then it contains Psychomagic, A Healing Art, which is his most recent film. By the way, 91 years old, still making movies, holy shit. And yeah, it's not a complete collection. You could get Santa Sangre on DVD still from Severin. I don't know when the Blu-ray is going to be back in stock on their website, but keep a lookout for that. That's one of his best films. But these are phenomenal. There's a ton of shit in this collection. Link is below. I'm not going to go through all of it because I don't remember all of it off the top of my head, and it'll just be me reading off to you. But the point is, holy shit, huge collection, reasonably priced. This is from in the UK, it's from Arrow. In the US, it's ABKco or ABKCO. I've never heard of this company before, so this is new to me. But holy shit, it's all director approved. It's all dope. I love Jodorowsky. One of my new big releases for the year that I didn't know about until one of my patrons mentioned it. So, huzzah! That's amazing. So, with that being said, that thus ends an extra long episode of Quadruple BN. Again, let me know if you think a podcast version would be better, or whatever, it would mean more of them, but at the same time, less production value. I don't know what you want from me, but let me know. I love opinions, comment, and stuff. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Go watch a movie.